show now.
Yeah,
Let's get it.
I mean, hey,
Shut up.
one of them one-tree-hill relationships.
Yo, stop it. I'm doing the intro. I'm keeping this part right here. What's going on, people? This is the Blerdspot Podcast. Your boy June 88, Crystal Bay, the homie Kid Fallin, and we got the comic book guy, Mike Fallin, back on the show. What's the gig?
Hey, man, I'm good. I got to earn that title, comic book god, but I am officially now a comic book author.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my first comic books, it should be done. We should have our first draft of it done, physically illustrated, everything by end of April. So it's gonna be a Greek supernatural type genre, and it's gonna be called Myth Bonded.
Right.
Dope. That's real dope. Look forward to looking.
Well, y'all know when I get it physically printed and all that, I'm gonna send y'all some copies.
Bet.
For sure.
Because I need more copies of comics.
Yeah.
Same.
Trust me, you ain't never read nothing like this.
Oh, snap.
Bet.
As long as you ain't got no hentai in there, we straight.
I'm good, bro. That's for volume 2.
I can't come out the gate with the filth. I can't come out the gate with the filth.
Exactly. It's like fourth date. You gotta pace yourself.
So what we talk about, Auntie? What we got on today?
Well, today, we just gonna talk about all these TV shows. We talk about the movies a lot, but we really don't say nothing really about, the TV shows we got lined up. So, is there one in particular that any of y'all are looking forward to the most?
Man, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Loki.
Same. I'm with you on that, Loki.
Loki and Secret Wars.
Now, I know Loki's going to be... Are you talking about overall, or are you talking about for this year? Because for this
year... Overall.
Overall? Oh, my God. Secret Invasion, I think, is going to be the one.
All right.
Because y'all know the comic book storyline with that.
Yeah.
It's going to be...
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be...
You know what?
Buck wild.
From a parent perspective, yes, Kid Phantom is a parent. So I guess I can't be calling myself no kid no goddamn more.
Hey, Soldier Boy, 48 years old. He still kind of Soldier Boy. So
true.
Shut up.
From a parent perspective, and for the people of the nation of Blerd, I can't wait to see the Princess and the Frog TV show. That is my daughter's favorite Disney princess, and her main reason for liking her is because she looks like her.
Representation matters.
Yeah,
T'Challa.
And then, besides that, if we're talking about the non-Marvel TV shows that was announced at the Disney Plus Investor Summit, I think the most interesting one is going to be that other. It's going to be the first ever Disney African TV show collaboration from an African production company. It's going to be like a futuristic. It's not going to be like Romeo and Juliet, but it looks like it's going to be a black sci-fi show coming out. I forgot what it's called. But basically, it's going to show classism in a futuristic African setting.
Okay, that's
okay. That sounds dope.
Black sci-fi, Disney. I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and make whatever happen that needs to make the fuck happen, so I can get famous Jet Jackson on Disney Plus.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying.
I forgot.
R.I.P. Lee Thompson Young.
That was my jam growing up.
That was everyone's jam growing up. Every little young black kid.
Yeah, it's true. And he was on there macking on Beyonce when she first came out.
The GOAT.
Yeah.
If we're talking non-Marvel, Children of Blood and Bone is something I'm really, really, really looking forward to. But as far as Marvel goes, Secret Invasion and Moon Knight for me.
Oh, whoo. Y'all heard who the villain's gonna be played by, right?
Oh.
Ethan Hawke. He's gonna be the main villain.
Oh, nice.
So,
yep. See, makes me want to watch it even more.
Oh yeah,
I fucks with Ethan Hawke
heavily.
Low key, only because they got the DB Cooper joint in there, so I'm like, all right, I'm with that.
So, for me, it's gonna go Secret Wars, then Falcon, and then Armor Wars, because it's gonna. I know with Armor Wars, they're gonna have to bring in Riri Williams for that one, and they're going to bring back Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2.
Right.
That's my boy.
Do you think
Played
there's a
by
chance they'll bring back RDJ?
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I've been hearing that they're courting him right now to finalize talks where he's gonna be her AI system. He'll be the voiceover.
Okay.
That'll work.
Okay.
Y'all heard what happened last week? They just
I was gonna ask you about this. So what you think about that? How you think?
I'm excited because now we get a chance to get Old Man Cap like in the comics, and Old Man Cap took over from Nick Fury for a while, and he was the head of Shield.
Okay.
Let's just be real. He came back because that's where the money resides.
Yeah, especially during COVID.
And that's all Mary Had Little Lamb. So
Well,
Yeah,
that's on
tell
West.
about it.
That's on Westview.
No, that's on Peggy Carter.
Oh, the children.
That's on Carter when it comes to Captain America.
Hey, Westview's for the kids.
for the children.
Oh, no, wait. There's one other TV show that I'm looking forward to, and this is a non-Marvel, non-Disney show. Shout out to CW. But Walker, Texas Ranger, which just came out, I believe, last night, and Legacies season 3 just came out last night.
If we're actually talking CW shows, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm looking forward to Superman and Lois now.
Oh yeah, I forgot to get the show.
I saw the trailer that they released, and it looks so the production looks like a movie. So this is like it's gonna have the best cinematography out of every CW show. But it has like a dark tone to it, and instead of him having to deal with having like little kids, both of his sons are teenagers, but they don't know that he's Superman.
Fire.
So
More like a grim or supernatural type show.
Yeah, I guess because I guess he's getting used to having kids because they weren't there before the Crisis crossover.
Right.
So it's different. Like for you, your kid's normal. You just had a kid, but for this dude, he has to literally the next day after that event, he automatically has 2 sons he never had before.
And he better
teenagers.
He better go ahead and tell them early because if he don't, one of his sons get his powers. If he don't mention that he's Superman, that son probably gonna get a big ass head and end up like Homelander.
Oh my God.
End up like Brightburn.
No.
Oh, that's my jam. I love that movie.
Yeah, Homelander shot a whole plane full of people down.
Yeah, well, y'all know Brightburn's a sequel, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
You said it's a sequel to it, or it's the sequel?
Oh, it's a sequel to Super with Rainn Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when you rewatch the ending of Brightburn and they have Michael Rooker being like the crazy conspiracy guy, and they're showing the evil Justice League, the Batman in that is Super, played by Rainn Wilson.
Okay, I actually didn't know that, so I'm gonna go watch Super.
That's what I'm here for.
If you ain't seen The Boys, y'all need to check that shit out too.
Man,
I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: season 2. I hate to say it like this, if there's kids listening. Season 2 shits on season 1 heavily
by far,
and quality and violence and writing. But season 3 is now gonna be the worst. It's gonna be not the worst, but it's gonna be the most chaotic season because they're doing Hero-gasm. I don't know if y'all know about the Hero-gasm art.
I've heard about it, but I haven't read it.
Right. To make it very because I know you got listeners on here, and I don't want to discuss them in detail. Hero-gasm in the Boys comic book is when the Boys are now fighting 4 superhero teams. Payback, which is a ripoff of Avengers. They got it was like the G Kids, which is like a ripoff of X-Men, and then the 7, and it was another team. And what happens is Vought controls all these groups, and they pay for them to have a spring break. And you already know how raunchy and low down the superheroes are when they're sober. But it's like a paid spring break where they get sponsored, they have per diems, and they're provided all the drugs that they want, and so they can do whatever they want. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah, but with superheroes.
Basically, what Deadpool would be if it was split into 4 teams.
Yeah, but I mean, that whole arc takes place in that 1 week when they're on vacation together, all the teams.
Yeah,
and it's bad.
And remember, Jason Ackles, he's going to be in The Boys season 3. He's going to play Soldier Boy. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Soldier Boy, I know, right? But in the comic book, Soldier Boy is that universe's version of Captain America, but he's a complete asshole. So he's sort of like our Soldier Boy. No, I'm kidding.
Drake.
Wow.
I know.
Well, I need to go watch season 2 now. That's what that says. Because I haven't watched it.
When you
I don't know
watch
why
it,
I haven't watched it.
Racism
Stormfront will mess you up when you watch that season.
I'm gonna give it a whirl.
Stormfront.
I've been really just watching anime and stuff heavy.
That's what's up. Was it Jujutsu Kaisen? Kaisen Jujutsu? That new one that came out?
I haven't watched the new one. We need to watch that. My best friend loves Haikyuu, and so Netflix just came out with this this one about basketball. So
oh
we need to
yeah,
watch that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So speaking of the Disney Investors Summit, Star Wars is about to be buck wild the next 3 years with all those movies and TV shows coming out, and then The Mandalorian is going to have 2 spinoffs.
And one of the
I haven't watched. Go ahead.
You haven't watched The Mandalorian?
No.
Because so listen. Okay, let me explain. First of all, let me explain. So, I am new to Star Wars. So I've only seen the original trilogy and I've seen 2 of the prequel. Mm-hmm. So that's where I am. And I didn't want to. I know they said I could watch it without watching all that, but I wanted to watch it like in order.
Okay, so which of the prequels have you seen? What numbers?
1 and 2.
Okay, so to watch The Mandalorian, that's all you need to watch is 1 and 2, and then the original trilogy, because The Mandalorian is in between episodes 6 and 7, and between 6 and 7 is a 30-year time gap, and The Mandalorian starts 5 years into that gap. so it's 5 years after Darth Vader died, and it's 25 years before you meet Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I can watch it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you straight. But season 2.
Because every time I try, 1 minute somebody wants to watch, and the next minute they don't. So
you gotta watch it by yourself, dog. You gotta get that in, because man, bro, look at my shirt. You see this shirt? Do you see? Look what I'm wearing right now. This is what you're missing out on. Okay.
Baby Yoda.
No, it's
I mean, I already know the spoiler for season 2 with him though.
Do you know the spoiler?
He said, "Do you?"
Maybe.
Because if you see the last 3 movies that came out, episodes 7 through 9, you definitely know the spoiler about what happens to him.
They need to have a baby death battle.
Don't say it.
Huh?
Between who?
Shoot,
Baby Geniuses and Baby Yoda.
Baby Groot, Baby Yoda, and any other baby characters that want this business.
Exactly. Bring all the babies.
Would that include Deadpool when he gets his legs ripped off? I mean, because
yes,
half of them.
You gotta throw the homie Jack in the ring.
Oh no, Jack's the winner.
With my man.
Jack is too OP. Jack, hey, I don't know where I read it or seen it at, but they said Jack could have beat Thanos 1-on-1.
Yeah, I believe it. Without the gauntlet, easily.
Yeah.
I mean, Thanos, so with Marvel's version of Thanos, he's pretty op, but they made him a little too op to where I feel like they nerfed the Avengers a bit, because it's like even though he made the Hulk eat a 2-piece and a biscuit,
he humbled him. Call it what it is. Humbled him.
But
Thanos has gotten his ass beat by everybody. I mean, didn't he get beat 1-on-1 by Drax?
Yes, Drax gave him the fresh skibbity.
But Drax also beat Hulk 1-on-1 too. They don't want to talk about that.
Okay. I have to say this. If they were, because like they're going down the right path now with WandaVision. Because if you guys want to jump into that right now, so the character is. I'm gonna give a spoiler right now for those who aren't privy to the comics. The character Geraldine. I'm about to go into that real quick. Mm-hmm. So Geraldine in the comics is Spectrum. but Spectrum was the first human Captain Marvel in
Oh, okay.
Marvel Comics, and she's the strongest black woman in Marvel, and she's one of the strongest women. Period. Because she
That's
can
what,
convert.
when they had her afro, like in the episode, because she has an afro, I thought that's who she kind of looked like, but I was like,
It was. Because she's Monica Rambeau. We saw her as a little girl in the Captain Marvel movie last year.
Okay.
That's her. That's her grown up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because remember, because Captain Marvel's in 1995.
Right. Okay.
So that's her now. She's working for Sword.
Like we said before the show, just how she got punked.
Well, the thing is, bro, you got to remember, she's not mentally right because of how the show's happening.
Oh yeah.
Because if she was mentally on her P's and Q's, that would have been a problem.
So, last episode we did kind of our theories on WandaVision. We would love to hear what you think is going on.
Talk to him.
I could tell y'all what I think, and I can't say on the air what I was told because I learned some things from some people that know people at Disney. So I'm gonna keep it spoiler free from what I was exposed to, but
don't have Marvel pulling up on our blog, Mike. Don't have Marvel.
I'm not.
We're gonna have Sword and all them pull up on us.
Yeah.
It's like that clip of the SWAT busting into the apartment.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be like off of what's that movie, Transformers, when they busted in on.
Exactly. Get off my grandma's carpet. She'll like nobody on the carpet. Okay, so for those who are watching WandaVision, you might want to mute or skip ahead because I'm about to, not including what I know, spoiler, for what I'm speculating, I'm about to spoil some stuff anyways from my speculation because I could tell it from 100 yards away. So this is your only spoiler warning. The whole situation we're watching in WandaVision, from what I'm speculating, is a reverse of the House of M storyline.
Okay.
Now, do you guys know the condensed version of House of M? You guys know the whole thing forward and backwards?
I know a bit of. I know like.
All right, I'm just gonna make it. I'm gonna condense it to like a few sentences or at least a paragraph, so that way I don't bore people with like page numbers and crap. So, House of M is basically a demon who attacked Wanda when she was a baby. His name is Mephisto, and he's like the devil of Marvel. Now, Mephisto is who Loki replaced in all the Marvel films. Because in Captain America 1, they had to edit Captain America 1 after it came out because Mephisto was the one that worked on the Tesseract, and he was supposed to be in all three Avenger films. But Kevin Feige took him out because China makes it illegal to have spirits and devils in your films when they come to China. And the Chinese invest the most money in Marvel films. That's why when they did Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme was actually a Tibetan man, but they made him a white woman because they didn't want to offend the Chinese because they're the second biggest market. So all of our Marvel films have been tampered with because of Marvel's subserviency to China, which is why we didn't get. That's why we didn't get Mephisto in Avengers 1, 2, or 3, because he was a big part of Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet. So this is what's happening in House of M. Mephisto attacks Wanda because Wanda finally is like truly in love with Vision, and she gives birth to her twin boys, and they're made of pure magic. And so because of that, Mephisto attacks her and the family, and he absorbs both the babies into himself, killing them. And once he kills her babies in front of her in Vision, she has a mental breakdown, and she changes the entire world with her magic. And basically, she reversed it to where mutants are the majority population and humans are the minority. And her dad is the king of everybody, basically. And what happens is all the heroes start waking up and they remember how the world was. And they tell her, like, fix it, you're ruining the world, put everything back. And when she puts the world back, she's so petty because of what they made her do, and because that's how she was dealing with her children's death. She said the words "no more mutants," and what she did was, when she said that, she ripped out the X gene from 98% of all mutants. So she turned 98% of every mutant into a human, leaving only 200 mutants on the planet. So they're going to do the reverse of that, huh?
I was telling him, I said, I told y'all that heifer was crazy.
Yes, you did.
It had something to do with the nigga that created Ghost Rider.
Exactly. So instead of her, because what happened was in House of M, the entire world was changed, and every hero who had their perfect view of reality, it was granted. Like Spider-Man had a perfect life, Iron Man had a perfect life, but Magneto was top dog, and Wanda was there with her dad, helping him out run everything, and especially with Quicksilver. So what I'm thinking is this, especially what they showed in episode 3, that entire town got hijacked by Wanda, and Paul Bettany, he messed up last week. So there was a cut scene from the end of Avengers Endgame that they're going to put in this show, and he described it, which he shouldn't have done. At the end of Endgame, they shot this already. They shot this 3 years ago, but it hasn't come out yet. At the end of Endgame, Wanda breaks in the sword and pulls Vision's body out of the morgue.
Yeah.
Out of the not the morgue, but the equipment room that they have that they keep all the artifacts after battles. So they shot that already, like 2-3 years ago. But they didn't. But they took it out of Endgame, and now they're going to put it in WandaVision. So that is actually Vision's body, from what Paul Bettany was saying. That's what came out of his mouth. I don't know why he said that. He ruined some of it. But so what I'm thinking is she took his body.
That's all.
Exactly. so Scarlet took his body, went to that town, and hijacked all the residents, and that's why they be acting so weird. But that one white woman, the main one, Agatha, the one that keeps popping up every episode and is always in their business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, her name's Agatha Harkness, and she's Wanda's teacher, who teaches her how to use her hex magic. But Agatha is also a servant of Mephisto, the same nigga that killed her babies.
Got you.
Now keep paying attention. Every episode, every time Agatha, it keeps popping up, and they're like, "Where's your husband?" "Oh, Ralph? He's not here. He doesn't like being in the daylight. He looks better in the dark." Remember that says "devil's in the details." That's not where he's always is. So every time she talks about her husband Ralph, it's basically Mephisto. But if it's not, but what they can do is, if they don't want to keep Mephisto as the main villain for this season, but I think they will, they also could replace him with another villain called Nightmare, who has similar powers.
This one down here.
I did. Yeah. So basically, it's either going to be it has to be Mephisto, because that's what I'm leaning towards, because it makes the most sense that this is because the thing is, Disney Plus isn't allowed in China, so this is the only time that they can bring in devils and demons onto the Marvel officially, and it won't offend the Chinese.
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
I did say last episode that if they wanted to find a way to tie it into Doctor Strange, being Nightmare is a way they could do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they already released set photos of Wanda in Doctor Strange too, so that's the one thing. Yeah, so they were close to each other in the set photo, so I don't know if they're working together. It's sort of hard. It's like either they can be working together, or it's like them, basically probably blasting each other or whatnot. But yeah, so end of WandaVision, definitely, like they already said, the end of WandaVision picks up right at the beginning of Doctor Strange 2, and everything that happens in Doctor Strange 2 gets picked up and it gets handled in Spider-Man 3, which is why we're going to get Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield in one movie. Well, my bad, 2 movies, because it just came out, I think, 2 days ago, that the shooting schedule for Spider-Man 3 is double the last 2 Spider-Man movies.
Man.
So we might be getting Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland and Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire.
Oh, nice.
Also, he's supposed to be making an appearance in Spider-Man.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's my take, is that WandaVision is that she took Vision's dead body, went to that town, and is forcing all the residents, except for that one woman, to relive the TV shows. Because remember, Wanda is an immigrant, and a poor immigrant from Sokovia. So she never had a proper life or a proper upbringing. So she could be doing this because this is the closest she's ever been to having a fulfilled family. So basically, she could have been watching these TV shows in her country, who get like old TV shows and sitcoms. And that's her version of a perfect life, which is why she's making everybody act like these TV shows she watched growing up.
That, or that, and the fact that Elizabeth Olsen also stated the reason why her accent isn't there is because Black Widow has been training her to be a spy. So at one point, Black Widow was training Scarlet Witch to be a spy.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about the 5-year time skip.
Yep.
Because this is all in 2023 after the snap.
Right.
And this is happening concurrent right next to Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 2, Far From Home. So as this is happening, Spider-Man Far From Home is when this is happening simultaneously.
Right.
So, how do you think? I've heard June and Kid's theories as well as mine. How do you think they're going to introduce mutants finally into everything?
So there's a couple different things that they can do. So what I'm thinking is that, like I said, they're going to do the reverse of House of M. So they're going to have it to where she still got pregnant. She just gave birth to the twins. The twins are going to have to die for now, and what happens is that causes her to rip the barriers down between the multiverse. And basically, because remember, Doctor Strange is Multiverse of Madness. So when she destroys the barriers between our realities, then that's when Doctor Strange is going to have to try to make her put everything back to normal. Doctor Strange 2, and then also in Spider-Man 3, and with them finally getting everything back to normal, they'll have accidentally merged our world with another world, or the energy from the other worlds trigger the mutant genetics in all the humans that are dominant.
So
not dominant. I mean, dormant.
So I'm gonna ask you this: when that make Marvel contradict themselves by saying the mutants are already here, they were just kicking it in the back, but kicking it in the background. So when that
because what they can really do is, especially like if you're thinking like long term, like Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, and all that have been there for ages. Yeah. You can say that mutants have been an extremely, maybe not like maybe 1% or 1% of the population, maybe only like a couple hundred mutants or less have been around at any given generation. And what happens is either the events with Wanda or the presence of the Avengers, and during this time frame, that just having the presence of the Avengers is starting. People unknowingly are unlocking their own X genes as a response to that. You know what I mean? Like basically, our bodies, we're supposed to adapt to new environments. That's how humans are built. And if everybody on the globe knows that now there's gods and aliens and everything, maybe some of the geneticists get unlocked as a survival tactic without knowing it all at once. But I'm thinking more of the case is like it's either gonna be the energy from Wanda messing up the barriers that bring on the multiverse, or it's her and Doctor Strange not putting the world back to normal properly, which is what causes the X genes to get unlocked. Because in that book that came out from Marvel last year, the one that it's like a Wakandan journal by Shuri.
Yeah.
They're talking about different people and whatnot. Or it was like that book, or it was another book that came out recently. They said that the reason why Von Strucker and everybody in Age of Ultron targeted Sokovia for the experiments with the Mind Stone is because of how that population specifically responded to the experiments, aka at a high concentration of people with probably dormant X genes. So basically, Wanda and Pietro were definitely mutants that never had their powers activated, but they didn't die by the Mind Stone because they actually had the mutant gene in them, and that's the mutant gene that got awoken by the Mind Stone.
I can rock with that because I was telling the squad just last week that I didn't want the multiverse to be the explanation for everything. I wanted something just to be like they said, some people in the background, because they said the Eternals are already in the background, but they the Eternals. I didn't want that to be like the key point. Oh, the multiverse. And I told him how do you explain Wolverine all these years if he fought beside, Cap, and how do you explain all that kind of stuff? So
I mean, because I think that would be the better way to say that, because it's like our world probably never had, like if that was the lane they're going down, then they would say that we never had mutants at all. But then when Doctor Strange and Wanda try to put the world back together, they F up and they mix some pieces around on accident, and then that way they alter history. And then all that stuff is actually canon now. Okay. You know what I mean? It's you know what I'm saying? Basically, it's like we never had Wolverine. There was no X-Men, none of that crap. But then when Wanda and Doctor Strange mess up putting things back together, they cause that ripple effect. Just like back in the future. Like remember when Marty McFly changed everything in the past, and then like his dad was actually an alpha male, and Biff was like a bit of a bitch and was like cleaning their cars and everything. But that's not how it was before he left. It would be the backwards version of that, where they would affect the past and the present by how they're trying to fix all the barriers between the multiverse.
Okay.
I fucks with that.
Because that's my new theory. My oldest theory that I had when they first did the movies, and they didn't have the rights to it. But then when I heard that they're getting the rights to Fantastic Four, my oldest theory that I ever had was that you can
please say that. This is Mike Fallin's theory. If anybody saying this, he's bringing the drama to your doorstep. Twitter fingers on it.
All right, thank you. So the Mike Fallin theory, original theory about how they could have introduced everybody would be through the Fantastic Four. What I would have done, and but I know they're going to do something different now. But what I would have originally done to make it make sense is that you could have kept the same Fantastic Four from the 60s, or you could have had them like in the 90s, and during their first adventure, they all get stuck with Doctor Doom in the negative zone. And then after 30 years or so, they're able to come back. But when they come back to our reality, they haven't aged a bit because they've been in the negative zone. But them coming back, all the negative zone energy starts waking up people's X genes.
Unlike what was that in the CW when the Flash was in the Speed Zone?
Yeah.
No, when he was when he's in the Speed Force, and when he came out of it, that bus full of people turned into metas because of the energy.
Yeah.
I fucks with that.
Yeah.
I like that because they said they wanted the Fantastic Four to be like from the past, and like,
that's the best way to do it.
So another question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the rumor that they're going to actually use the word mutant for the first time in WandaVision, and with Evan Peters, who's actually been announced to be making a cameo appearance somewhere in the show? What character do you think he's going to play? Or do you think they're going to bring him in as the Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men series?
If you saw episode 3, you would understand. You would kind of have a theory to your own question.
What I'm thinking is it's a very high possibility that he could be our new Quicksilver, and I would welcome it. But I think Evan Peters is going to come in as a fake version of Quicksilver, who's actually Mephisto in disguise. Because I think that'd be something a little different. Because it's like, and then plus with me, I would be extremely happy if WandaVision was the first one to use the word mutant, because she's the daughter of Magneto. So I feel like it'd be the right person for it.
I want to say something about that because Mr. Paul said something in this show is somebody's in the show that we least expected. People are, oh, Quicksilver. I'm like, that's too like,
that's too easy. What if it's Magneto?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What if it's Magneto? In the end of the episode 9, you see somebody come from the sky just all draped in the colors. Oh shit, Daddy's home. Oh shit, Magneto.
What I'm thinking is if they did something like that where they're bringing in a Fox character, I'm thinking they might either bring in Wolverine or Xavier if they're going down that route. I mean, I understand that it'd be better to bring in Magneto, but if they're trying to shock us, it'd be cool to bring in another X character and then bring in Magneto after that from that same reality.
I'll go. Why did you say that? Professor Xavier roll his ass up to the crib, like yo.
Because Magneto, he be coming to buck wild because it's like he just found out he has his daughter, he has these grandkids, and swords they're threatening them. He would murk everybody on sight. That's all he would do. He would rip off people's belt buckles, make them into like saws, and start cutting people up, crushing people because you're threatening his magical grandkids.
Niggas left and right.
Ha!
Yeah. Just because y'all remember, I hate to even bring this word up. Y'all remember in the Dark Phoenix movie? I don't know if y'all saw it.
He said, "I hate to bring this word up."
Yeah, but
wait. We do not say that word over around here. We do not use that word.
We do not do that here.
The best scene in that movie was the train scene when Magneto was using the metal to murder all those aliens. That was the best fight scene that I've seen for Magneto, hand-to-hand combat. Now you take that and put it on steroids. If they were to introduce Magneto while his daughter's having a mental breakdown and they're trying to swarm his daughter, and you know how he has anger issues. There's no way that he wouldn't murder Darcy and Agent Park from Ant-Man 2 and Spectrum. He would murder everybody in like the most disgusting, intricate ways he could think of with all that metal.
What did they say? You don't mess with somebody's kids. You
don't mess with the kids.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you
inherited his mean streak, and her shit was on steroids.
And then imagine if you bring him in there and he takes advantage of her anger. Then you got to fight a pissed off, murderous Magneto with a pissed off, unstable Wanda. Like it's like getting jumped by Bruce Lee and Mike Tyson at the same time. It's not. It's chaotic. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like Magneto would be dope, but like knowing the character, nah, he wouldn't. He's not there. He's not diplomatic enough. He would just be on their heads too quick.
So what if he used Mystique to go get her out?
That would be dope. That'd be different. I would welcome that. Have Mystique
y'all know
like Magneto.
Mystique is my girl. Y'all know that.
Because yes, everybody keeps forgetting that Wanda had parents that her and Pietro saw die in Age of Ultron when they were kids. So what I'm thinking is Magneto either doesn't know that they exist or he gave them up as babies because they were raised by a family.
I forgot which comic it was, But at one point in the comics, the mom had ran away, told Wanda and Quicksilver that their dad died a hero or some shit like that. Magneto didn't find out about him until they unlocked their mutant gene.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm thinking Magneto would be dope, but I don't even know if he knows that they exist. Because why were they raised by poor people in Sokovia this whole time until they died when they were in their teens from the Stark missiles?
True.
Because like, would you give your kid to a bunch of homeless people in a third world country where they're getting bombed constantly?
Nope.
Nah.
So that's why it's throwing me off. It's like the whole there's too many variables, and that's why that make it not easy to bring in Magneto. It would have to be somebody else that's huge, like Xavier or Logan or Mystique.
I take Mystique just because of the fact like Wolverine is the person that you would already think to pop up. Then
I say Mystique only because I want Wolverine to pop up in Falcon and Winter Soldier. No, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like I told them, we were talking about it last week. He because Stryker's supposed to be in there, and like all you see is that the Mutant X program, and you see him in that tank, like the last episode.
Plus, you're forgetting the other factors that have been there since Hulk in 2008. Now, with Edward Norton, they showed you the Weapon X program in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with Timothy Roth, when they were getting his injections to make him into the Abomination, that the canister was the Special Weapons Program, which is another alias for Weapon X. Plus, it got out that Falcon and Winter Soldier, one episode's in Madripoor, which is a huge city used by which has like a deep tie to Wolverine and the X-Men. It's like a safe haven for criminals almost, but they deal a lot with mutants. And then also I heard that in Falcon and Winter Soldier, if anything, Wolverine wouldn't show up. It'll actually be Omega Red, one of Wolverine's villains. So that's what I was hearing a lot about from different sources, that a big rumor that Omega Red was going to show up, which is what would start catapulting us more towards the X-Men introductions. But if we got Wolverine in Falcon Winter Soldier, I'd be down with that too. Way more.
I don't even want him to be in it. I just want the last thing you see to be that tank with him floating. Like that's it.
That'd be tight.
So, who do you have? Because we didn't ask you this last time, I don't think. Your fan cast X-Men for us real quick. Who would you have play who?
For which one?
X-Men.
Fan cast, like, okay, I'm gonna give you the 5 X-Men that we just mentioned. Logan.
Okay.
Professor X, Magneto,
Mystique,
and I forgot who we had as the 5th one. Fan cast those 4 real quick.
I want you to fan cast Storm too, because that's my girl.
Okay.
Because they're trying to make Professor X a black man.
I know, right? I you know what? If we had to do a diversity, hire, which I really want them to do, this to switch it up. Even though I heard that they want him to be, they would see him as the other one. I like Giancarlo Esposito as Professor X. Gus from Breaking Bad. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even though he's Edgar right now in The Boys and he's Moff Gideon in the Mandalorian, he has that raw presence to him. But the thing is, especially in Breaking Bad, you saw why he was such a psychopath with how calm he was and calculated. Now you take that same level
in Once Upon a Time.
Exactly. So it's like you take all that. Yep, agreed. So you take all that raw talent and you make him a good guy who has a squad of hitters. That's my Professor X. Now, if we're gonna go Wolverine, it's funny. Like, I like this one fan casting I saw, and I feel like there's a couple different people. Now, for Wolverine, if we're going for like a younger, it has to be Dacre Montgomery, aka Billy from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Because he has that, or also he was the Red Ranger in the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Oh yeah.
Because the thing is, because like at first I thought he was a okay actor from when I saw in Power Rangers, but when I saw him as Billy from Stranger Things, and you see him have emotional anger issues, but yet he can go from being charming to calculated as well. That'll be my younger Wolverine. Definitely.
You actually said that, Anthony.
Yeah, I said either him or Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, but Daniel Radcliffe.
Watch Daniel
That's
Radcliffe
not.
in the Jungle.
Yeah, I as much as I love Daniel Radcliffe, I don't think that's in his heart anymore to go like do crazy franchises like that with the career choices he's been making. I feel like he likes to do one and done films. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's actually asked to be Wolverine once before. Has even
What? I didn't know that. That's
once I find the picture of it, I have to send it to you. It's like,
bro.
If you Google Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine, he's like in a blue muscle shirt, and boy, look perfect height and everything. He looks like
That's my thing. I want a short Wolverine. I'm tired of tall ass 6 foot something Wolverine. Wolverine, part of his anger is he got little man syndrome.
That's true. That's true. But but if we're going for like an older Wolverine, definitely not Keanu Reeves. I've seen that too much. What I would do for an older Wolverine who could pull off the anger perfectly, Tony Stark from The Boys, Homelander.
Yeah.
I think I heard his name go around a few times.
But the reason why is not because of The Boys. It's because if you guys ever seen a show called Banshee, y'all ever seen that?
No.
He's on Banshee.
Banshee is the show basically it's about this criminal who gets out of prison and he goes to see his baby mama after he's been locked up for 18 years. And on his way to this town, you never know his name, and he stops at a bar, and the sheriff is about to start his job at the same town called Banshee, and the sheriff gets murdered right in front of him. And so what happens is he takes over the sheriff's identity. He takes his name and everything, and then he's the sheriff of this town for all 4 seasons of the show. But he goes up against a bunch of crazy ass criminals. He goes up against an ex-Amish mobster, Native American gangbangers, and even like the Russian mafia. But if you watch it, because in the show it had the best fight choreography I've ever seen in a TV show. That outside of martial arts, like his fighting style isn't martial arts based at all. It's like brutal MMA almost in that sense. It's like street fighting, but like top tier street fighting. But the thing is, this character shows so much anger, depth, and the full spectrum of emotion. The way he carried that whole show, and you never know his name at all throughout the whole show. And then the way he has to manipulate people to keep them thinking that he's the sheriff. Because of Banshee, he'd be the perfect Wolverine.
And that's what you call excellent writing.
Yes, excellent. You guys need to do yourselves a favor. It's on Amazon now, all 4 seasons.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, so that's my Xavier, that's my Wolverine. If we're going with Storm, I would if I want to be like realistic, because she's supposed to be from Africa, I would see I think her name is Yeeti. She plays the god of love on the TV show American Gods. She would be my fan cast.
That's
yeah. So she would, because I think she would kill it. Because
she plays Queen of Sheba.
Yes, that's her name. It's been a while since I've seen the show. I sort of lost interest after they fired Orlando Jones.
Same.
So yeah, but also so that would be my Storm. Now, if we're doing Mystique.
Definitely not Jennifer Lawrence.
No, but it's sad. So the woman that they hired to play She-Hulk, I wish they would have got as Mystique, Tatiana Maslany.
Okay.
Because in you guys ever seen Orphan Black?
Yes, and more.
Okay, you have. So for y'all that haven't seen it, Orphan Black is about a woman that finds out that she's a clone, and then she teams up with her clones, but each clone was raised in a different country. So in the show, she had to play herself multiple times from different countries with different accents.
With different
skills. I go crazy doing that.
Exactly. So that show lasted 4 seasons. So it's almost like a Wolverine type thing, but instead of her having like superpowers, it's just like it's still her being a clone, dealing with the fact that she was a part of a weapons program.
Right.
For clones.
And they're like searching for her and shit. She saw some of her clones get killed in front of other clones.
Yeah. But my other, you know what? My other two, because I can't use her now since she's our She-Hulk. It'd either be Ruth Negga from Preacher.
Okay.
She's a great Irish actress, and she was also in that show Misfits.
Okay.
And she was in that movie Loving about the interracial couple that made interracial relationships legal in America. She would be my top choice for Mystique because of how great she has with accents. And my second non-diversity hire for Mystique would be Jodie Comer from Killing Eve. Because in Killing Eve, she has to still do the same thing with different accents and everything.
We ended up saying Natalie Dormer from Game of Thrones.
I mean, Natalie Dormer's dope, but I really don't. I haven't been exposed to her versatility with accents and mannerisms. Whereas with Ruth Negga, it's funny. So in real life, she's Irish and Ethiopian, but then she blew up on British TV and then started doing American movies and TV shows. So I've seen her being forced to do different accents and different mannerisms, different characters. And Jodie Comer, she's Welsh, I think, because I know she's from the UK, but she has to do almost every accent in Europe on that TV show. So French, Spanish, Italian, American, because she's an assassin that kills people. So like for me, I can only pick actresses I've seen being pushed to do different ranges of emotions from different regions. So those are mine. But I mean, if we're going off down like the whole, like you're doing on the roster, my specific ones is a fan cast. Definitely give Method Man the Bishop role. I would love to see Method Man play Bishop. Yeah, he would kill that shit hard. I can't see nobody else. Now, if we're doing Cyclops, either Jensen Ackles as Cyclops, I think he would have like the right balance where he wouldn't come off like a bitch like Cyclops does sometimes, but he would just have that ruggedness to where he's still like a Boy Scout, but he'll still get in your face. Right. You know what I mean? But if I had to switch up his ethnicity, the same guy that played a Bushmaster from Luke Cage season 2.
Oh, see, no, nope. I have him as Dr. Voodoo.
Oh yeah, that's right. He'd be dope, Dr. Voodoo too. That's just me. I'm talking about strictly X-Men. So that's Cyclops. If we're doing Jean Grey, I think Sarosa. I always forgot. I always mess with her name. The one from Lady Bird, the Irish actress. She'd be my top pick for Jean Grey. She was also in The Host. She's Brooklyn, that Oscar movie Brooklyn.
Right.
About Irish immigrants. So because like I've seen, she does a really dope American accent. So I'm thinking either her. She's really the only person I would choose different to be Jean Grey because she's an Oscar level actress. And then man, for Beast, somebody that has like a lot of presence and it's just like a powerful, has like that Shakespearean feel to them a little bit.
I don't think I would have wanted to change Beast. I think Beast should have been the same from First Class.
Still be Kelsey Grammer?
No, not Kelsey Grammer, but talking about the young version of Beast, Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, Nicholas was dope, but if we have to change it to like a new person, nah, it can't be that dude. I was thinking about the guy that they casted for Eternals because he's dope. He did that movie Killing Deers. It's with him, Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman,
right? Where
he gets revenge on the doctor that killed his mom. Because he's a powerful actor, that kid. But he's an Eternal now. Man, it's hard to think about who would have like that range for like a young Beast.
Do you think Marvel's gonna let anyone reprise their roles?
I think it's a little too risky because at this point you're going to be confused. Well, let me take that back a little bit. I think it's risky with the X-Men specifically because the inconsistency of quality from the movies has left a bad taste in people's mouth. That's the problem. Now, the only person that I'm glad that they brought back that they're not effing with at all and let him have free reign is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Just that I heard they're doing the right thing. They're gonna keep it rated R. I think they're gonna release it underneath the Fox banner, and just let him do his thing. But he will be connected to the MCU now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which is
all
dope.
the R-rated films and stuff like that is going to be released of the 20th Century media because it's not 20th Century Fox.
Because if you try to restrict Deadpool again, like you did in Wolverine Origins, that franchise is dead on arrival.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't want to bring back Fassbender or James McAvoy?
I would love to do that, but because of the inconsistency and the quality of those films, no. Because it's like they killed everything in First Class, and I was like, oh, I'm a ride or die, and then I saw what they did in like Apocalypse and then Dark Phoenix, and I'm just like, first of all, you don't age them up with the proper makeup. They look like they're in their 20s when they're supposed to be in their 60s. And then the story is ass, which is why none of those films made over $1 billion. So it's
McAvoy,
you know what I'm saying?
Michael Fassbender.
I know, because I love them.
They were wasted talent. Like,
yes,
they
I agree.
Perfect for their roles.
With Marvel.
What about Fox sooner?
Yes.
And I want to get.
I agree.
I think we talked about it last time you were on here, but I got to bring it back up because it keeps coming up. T'Challa, what is your feelings, brother? Like, can we just to bring that, because we all want the recast, and Marvel like we not doing it.
Well,
so
what I would do is this. Oh, my bad. You were saying?
You think Marvel gonna be like, "Hi, gotcha. We did recast. We just had to throw the sin off the ball."
Nah, because right now Marvel is pushing too much for the black dollar. Let's just be real. Because never before have you ever seen Disney go for this much diversity. We're gonna get a Tiana TV show. We're getting that black futuristic TV show now on Disney Plus. You know what I'm saying? We're getting all these black superheroes on WandaVision, Black Panther 2. So since they announced that they're not gonna recast him for this film, I feel maybe just this one they might go with Shuri. But what I would do, out of respect for Chadwick, is to let his T'Challa still be dead, but bring in a different T'Challa from a multiverse. That'd be the best thing to do, to where it's like, we're not getting rid of your T'Challa, but this is a different T'Challa who's going to be a placeholder from now on.
So I want to counter that question. Do you think a T'Challa from another universe would let his Wakanda go kingless? Like, they knowing how T'Challa, like, I can't leave my people without me.
But the thing is, you got to do it to where he has no choice to go back, or there's nothing to return to.
Maybe his Wakanda is gone.
Exactly. You bring in T'Challa, who's basically he's the same type of person, same morals, same character. He's just a little more rugged or a little more askew because of how he had to watch his people die in his world. And now he's on a new planet with the same people he lost, and now he has a second chance to do the right thing, to be the Black Panther that he couldn't be on his planet.
Okay.
And this guy, what I think they could do to piggyback off what he said, is make him more like Civil War T'Challa, and not the watered down T'Challa we got in Black Panther, because revenge wasn't on his mind anymore.
He wasn't about to
You got to remember, he had to be more diplomatic in that one.
Yeah, right. they really try to nerf him to make him like a knockoff Martin Luther King in that movie. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, like, we don't want to pick up.
We already got that knockoff Martin Luther King. He's in a wheelchair.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. It's just like they make.
We can't piss off the white folk. We can't.
I know, because Killmonger was like Marvel's version of Malcolm X at this point. The way that they had him be preachy and like the way his ideals were set up, because it's just like how Magneto was in the comic books. It's like he wants everything right for his people. It's just the way that they force him to go down the wrong path as like a cautionary tale. They could have been handled different. But
and then
yeah.
There's one person who I've said, and I think everybody else has said it as well. Elon Noel. You know who that is? Or have you seen any of the Purge movies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, him. We believe that he'll be the best person to recast as T'Challa. Only because they have a similar build. Elon Noel is like an inch shorter than Chadwick was in real life. but they have a similar build. He can actually do his own stunts as well as how Chadwick did. He has the martial arts background.
Yeah.
He's originally who I wanted to be Blade before.
Mahershala.
Yeah.
I got a mini beef with Mahershala in real life. I'm gonna tell y'all about that later.
And see, the only thing with Black Panther 2 is I just don't like how they said we're exploring Wakanda with characters from the. I'm like, what do you mean exploring? I mean, like,
well, bro,
I think the reason why they said that is because
it's a safety net.
It's a safety net, and at the time, Shuri, Letitia Wright was in such hot water with these people at that moment. They were calling her an anti-vaxxer, so it's kind of best to just leave her name out of it while the heat was on her, so to speak.
well,
It's not to say that they're not going to go the route of Shuri. I hope they do. At first I was against it, but I understand people need time to mourn. So give her the mantle temporarily of Black Panther.
I mean, she ready, because the one thing people keep forgetting about in the first Black Panther film, when M'Baku came to fight T'Challa the first time, and he sort of like disrespected her, all of the Malage were holding her back. They weren't protecting her.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? And even though I wish that, they would have picked a different actress that had more martial arts capabilities, I still sort of liked it. They're like, oh, well, she's dangerous. But, giving her the Black Panther mantle is sort of better, because since you don't have an actress that isn't a physical martial artist, you give her the mantle, so that way her face is covered up, and you bring in an actual female fighter that can do all the stunts and fight scenes.
Right.
That aren't CGI this time. Jesus.
oh gosh, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna talk. It looked like that last fight scene of Black Panther
looked like a bad video game.
Dude, that was PlayStation 1 graphic.
That shit was Tron Legacy.
I know.
That's what the fuck that was. That was Tron Legacy.
Damn, you know what? I'm like.
So yeah, that's my thing, bro. It's like either give me another T'Challa from a different reality, or give me Shuri. Those are my top two choices for now.
I'd rather them do Shuri, have T'Challa as dead, and then you can one day work on the King of the Dead storyline, because he comes back as the King of the Dead and reclaims the throne.
And then again, Black Panther scheduled for next year, so they're gonna have to start filming it. They're gonna have to start up soon. So they say that they're going to come out July 2022. So we're gonna have to start hearing some rumbles soon.
Yeah, well,
do you think,
Ryan's. Oh my
go
bad.
ahead.
You're saying?
Go ahead with what you're saying, because I just had a question.
Oh yeah, no, because Ryan Coogler has been retooling the script since Chadwick's death. So we're still getting the same writer, same director. So I'm not too worried about it.
Do you think Killmonger's gone, or you think he'll make an appearance in the future?
I always wanted them to bring him back before Chadwick died, but in this case, it would sort of be a double-edged sword with how they do it if they bring back Killmonger as Black Panther. Because it's either you bring him back as Black Panther, or you bring him back as a part of the royal family. Because in the comics, T'Challa and Shuri, they have a white brother named White Wolf, but he has no claim to the throne, and he never wanted to rule the Wakanda, but he becomes the head of the military police. So and he got hanged because him and
the name White Wolf.
Huh?
Said, do you think that's what they're going to do with Bucky since they gave him the name White Wolf?
Nah, because they gave him Falcon and Winter Soldier. They want to keep him Winter Soldier. So what I'm thinking is either you give the White Wolf title to Killmonger and let him be that character, or you bring in Killmonger with White Wolf and sort of have it to where everybody's on edge, but like they lost T'Challa, so now they need as many pure-blooded royalty as possible to help with this time of transition.
Yeah, because I've heard them saying they don't have a two Black Panthers. Like, bro, don't have two. No, we don't need two Black Panthers. Like, just stick with one.
The only time
doing too much.
Black Panthers is Shuri.
They technically showed us that in 2009 because they had a BET Black Panther TV show based on Marvel Knights, where basically it was T'Challa And basically, when I don't know if you guys seen that animated one
I've
from
seen it.
2009.
I think I
You've seen
I've
it?
did.
seen it.
So
With
basically,
Jill Scott voicing Storm.
Yep. Yeah. So in that storyline,
I
for
gotta
those
go back and watch
that
this.
Maybe thick.
yeah. So like a quick recap, Claw basically hires Nuclear Man and Juggernaut and other villains to break into Wakanda. And during like the whole conspiracy to break into Wakanda, Black Panther's other family members step up, including his uncle, who puts on his Black Panther outfit. So technically there was 2 Black Panthers in that series, which was T'Challa's uncle, who was fighting the weaker intruders, and T'Challa was handling and clawing them. And Shuri actually stole the sword from Black Knight. So it's like you almost had 3 Black Panthers at once. You had his sister, you had T'Challa, and the uncle was out there beating the shit out of people. With his because like the uncle was Black Panther at the time too, until he gave it up to T'Challa.
Yeah, they had like the ceremonial battle in the beginning, and T'Challa beat his uncle for the throne.
Right.
Yeah, which I wish they could have did it in the movies, but I'm cool with the way they did it in Civil War.
Right. So I don't think we talk about this. I'm gonna wing something in before we get up out of here.
Okay.
Eternals. We don't talk enough about Eternals.
To be honest, I don't really know much about the Eternals, so the movie was gonna be new to me.
You want me to break it down for y'all very quickly?
Yes, sir.
Give me the short version.
Okay, so you guys know what Celestials are, right, in Marvel?
Oh yeah, I know.
Right.
Okay, so for those that aren't us on the podcast, for those who are listening and don't know what a Celestial is, if you watch Guardians of the Galaxy and they have that severed head called Nowhere, that's the head of a Celestial. They're like gods. And basically, Celestials came to Earth when Earth first had life, and they split everybody into 3 groups. You had humans, and then you had humans that became immortals called Eternals. So they're superhumans that don't have a lifespan that ends. They forever are immortal until you can kill one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Highlander almost.
Right.
And then the third one are humans that they experimented on that they're like Eternals, and Thanos comes from this race, and they're called Deviants. So they're like ugly, mutated Eternals that look disgusting.
So you mean
huh?
So you mean like white people?
Oh my God. So anyways, but what happened was when the Eternals experimented on humans.
Okay, you knew what I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's how you cut the camera off.
I was hoping we were gonna go through the whole show without any one of these. My answer did. He just had the show for the company.
I feel you. But yeah, so what happened was the Eternals are basically they've been around since then, and basically they were there before the mutants and before the Inhumans. They predate everybody as the most advanced society. But what happened was they had an incident where they actually lost all their memories. So they don't use their powers, and they all think that they're actual humans until they get their memories back, which is why they're out of action usually.
So this movie, is it past? Are we going back in the past, or is it present?
No, right after Endgame.
So
okay.
My question is, do you think when Wanda fucked everything up and she has to fix everything, that would be how they get their memories back?
That's what I'm thinking it's either her messing with the damn multiverse again, or it's residual energy from the snap that affects the Eternals differently.
She's the MCU's version of the Flash.
Exactly. But instead of time, she's ruining reality itself. She just needs to mind her business and stop ripping over openings into different realities.
You know what? All Wanda needed a black auntie. Stop it. Sit your ass down.
Well, actually, in the comics, after Wonder Man dies and after she breaks up with Vision, she does go out with Brother Voodoo for a while. The Black Sorcerer Supreme.
You know what?
That's the twins' real daddy.
You know what? Cut your camera off. Cut your camera off. Cut it off. With that being said, it's been the Blerdspot Podcast. I'm your host, June Lenny, Crystal Bay, the homie kid fan. We got the boy Mike Fallin on this joint, and we are out of here. it.